It's Nathan Higgs. Welcome to the Blueprint for a New Reality. Our host is Rebecca. I'll let her take it away.
All right. Hey, y'all, welcome. This is a weekly webinar where we discuss the current happenings and trends in the roofing industry. We've got quite a crew here. This week we're going to be talking about crew sourcing and project management. We're going to start off with introductions. Again, I'm Rebecca. I'm with Giddy Up Roofing, and this over here is my boss, Jeff. Jeff, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Jeff Wisniewski. I'm the president and founder of Giddy Up. We're a CRM and canvassing solution for the roofing industry.
Cool. How about John with the big SRS logo behind him?
In case you haven't already guessed, I work for SRS Distribution, Director of Contractor Training, and I'm here to help our contractor customers, solve whatever problems they have to help them grow their business. So thanks for being here.
Well, Jason?
I'm Jason Sloan with Furtado Law Solutions. We're a supplement company backed by attorneys, and I'm the business development specialist.
Thanks. All right, and then we've got some guys from Labor Connect that are going to be speaking today in regards to crew sourcing and production management. We're going to introduce Bill.
Hi, Bill Hicks. I am the sales manager for Labor Connect. We are a crew sourcing and production management company.
And William and your baby.
I'm William. I'm the general manager of production for Labor Connect, and we are a crew sourcing and production management company.
And then we've got the guy that runs the show, Nathan. If you wouldn't mind answering where all this came from, your idea to start all of this, as well as obviously your introduction and a little bit of a breakdown.
So I'm Nathan Higgs. I founded Higgs Professional Consulting in April of 2017 to come up with a way to help crews be more efficient and companies be more efficient. The smaller to the medium-sized guy to order their product and find labor in an easy platform, which was Higgs Professional Consulting and now Labor Connect.
Okay, we have a series of questions we're going to be asking, but we really want to encourage the viewers to send them over as well. I'll be monitoring on Facebook Live. If questions come in, we'll throw them out at the crew, okay?
Sounds wonderful.
All right, John, do you want to start?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, as far as like crew outsourcing is concerned, what is it about Labor Connect that makes it a better option than, contractors just going out and sourcing crews on their own?
In my view of it, it's one of those things that, we are the experts in that instead of having, somebody that's in your office that's doing it part-time or doing it that, is just kind of mediocrely looking through Craigslist or looking through Facebook and finding a crew and throwing them out there to try and see how their quality works. We go through a very detailed, 5-step program of asking the crews, we need references. We call those references, ask them, how their quality was, what kind of cleanup they had, what kind of, did they have any failure of inspections? How did that work? What kind of warranty issues did they have? Those type of questions. And then we also verify that their insurance is valid. Instead of just calling the agent that might be listed on the insurance document, we actually call the insurance company. Why do we do that? It's one of those things that, being in the industry for as long as I have, I've been burned. I've seen guys get burned by not having right insurance. And so we call the actual insurance carrier, if it's State Farm or whoever is their general liability, and verify that it's an active policy before we ever recommend them to one of our clients. And so we do a lot of the administrative and front end work for the client. And then, we are a production expert. So my staff is built around people that understand the insurance industry, understand the construction industry. And so we know the proper documents and proper pieces and parts that are needed to make the project go correctly. And so, not only are we a resource for labor, but we're a resource for knowledge. Maybe you find something on a roof that you have no clue what it is. We could be that resource to help you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
William, you are a project manager, is that correct?
No, production manager.
Production manager. My bad. Do you want to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, so I run the production side of the company, and really kind of what I do and what most. I apologize, guys, if you're a little one in the background. So, but I
How
run
dare
the
you have a
production
child?
management side.
How dare you have a child? Yeah.
That's actually my inner self screaming. But so I handle everything, kind of from start to finish. A company will still do everything like normal. You'll knock your doors, you'll get your leads, run your supplements. And from there, I kind of handle everything in the aspect of ordering materials the right way, working with your suppliers like SRS, working with your project managers, your sales reps, your office managers, and making sure that job is then ordered the right way. We don't use, like for me personally, being trained by Nathan Higgs, we don't use like the standard 10% on every roof. So we really take a look at it. My department does. And we find the right crew the way that Nathan was describing and get you linked up in the best possible way. I've been in the industry for 10 years. I started out picking up nails and cigarette butts, and I've built this kind of knowledge to where Nathan found me fit to run the production division.
And William, why don't you talk a little bit about, Rebecca asked if you're a project manager compared to a production manager. I know that we get asked that often. I see those messages constantly.
Yeah, that is a good one. So like the different, and I have been a project manager for many years, actually. When I got out of sales, I went right into project management. So those of you guys that are unaware, I'll kind of give you a little bit of a detail. Project manager, normally they're always field guys. You want a project manager on your job site. You want a project manager, running things on that front, doing things on that front, checking your installs, making sure the quality is high. Whereas a production manager, we're more logistics on the backside, prepping those project managers to have an easier job. So if the project manager, for example, or whoever is turning in your materials, if they've turned it in, maybe they're inexperienced, maybe they don't know what they're doing, I can't do my job efficiently. And then again, I'm going to now make their job much more difficult. So, the big difference is, those guys are normally out in the field. They're running the crews very directly, running the installs directly. And then where I'm more the back support, ordering the job, prepping the crew, and providing as much support for him as I can from a distance.
Great.
Jeff, do you have anything for the fellas? I reckon you do.
Yeah, definitely. Nathan and William, as you go through, what are some of the biggest issues that you guys encounter during a build process, and how do you handle them?
The biggest thing that I find, when I do production or before I get it to William, I look at the files and inaccurate or incomplete information. So, the data that's coming in from the project manager, whether it's, hey, I need a 2x4 skylight. Guys, I can tell you right now, insurance might call it a 2x4, but there's no skylights out there that are really 2x4. It's just not real. They're always, 11 and 15/16 by, 6 by 16/14 or whatever.
That is a super common thing.
And so, there's no real this, it's always a weird number with a lot of metrics to it. And so when guys turn that in, I just cringe. It's like, oh no, and so then we have to explain to go back out and measure. And, usually they're not wanting to do so because they've already been out. And the common misconception is for a project manager or a sales manager or a salesperson is, I've already sold the project. I don't need to go back to it, And so we really help explain the efforts and the need to go back because you want that good review. And in order to get that good review, guess what? That means you have to install the proper project, the proper time. And so get the right information up front and the project will go off without a hitch. You order the wrong product or the wrong material, the wrong size, guess what? There might be a blue tarp on that roof for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks while you're waiting for the right product.
And also I was going to say it's good because you're still interacting with your homeowners. A lot of these sales guys, they want this, sign it and they're done. And that's really not the way to build your reputation in this industry. The guys that do the best in this industry, they care about their clients and they're interacting with them quite a bit, not just once and done.
Right.
I think that falls back on a common theme that we hear also, though, in the production process, Nathan, some of what you were saying. Document, and document it accurately, and keep all that information in a great space where you have it available to you at all times, hence CRMs like GiddyUp. Keep that information, but document the heck out of that job. That's a lot of where success comes from.
I've never had an insurance carrier tell me that's too much information. I've had them tell me that, why are you giving me all this information? Hey man, I'm trying to make your life easy so that you've got everything that you could ever need so that we can make this file go nice and smooth. And usually that shuts him up really quick. And then your file usually gets approved very, very quick because he's not having to, an insurance adjuster, they're just like everybody. They're trying to move the file as fast as they can to get it off their desk. They don't want it sitting there. They don't want waiting to ask questions. They don't want any of that. And so if you give them access to your CRM file, access to they can't see Dropbox. Usually they can't see Company Cam, but make it nice and pretty for them. Make it so that they can see a zipped file with all your documentation, production photos, install before photos, during photos, after photos, material list. Hey, here's the size of skylight I did. It's not a 6 square foot skylight. It's actually a 17 square foot skylight. Those type of things, pictures of the old skylight, pictures of the new skylight. All those things will help you increase your claim. It will also help your project go faster, and it'll also help you get more customers because guess what? You're able to not have to chase your butt all day building it. You're actually going to be able to, by 3 o'clock, start knocking around that build and start making telephone calls and start working your referrals from that build. The epidemic and the pandemic that we are experiencing is almost over, guys. You're going to be able to start knocking around those builds again. How are you going to do that? Do you have the software? Do you have the tools? Do you have the expertise? It's crunch time. It's like college finals. We're almost there. We're about to get that degree. And so use our knowledge, use our expertise. We're here for you.
Nathan, as a follow-up on that, we have seen a tremendous uptick from new customers as well as existing customers that are really making that investment in training right now and kind of tweaking their processes to be ready to go through. And it's something that we've definitely seen, and it's pretty refreshing to see people ready for this to turn back on.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one of those things. When it turns back on, it's literally going to be like a fire hose, I feel. Or at least I hope. Let's put it that way. We all want it to be a fire hose. We hope it's not a trickle. But I really think that, we've had a lot of storms. There's storms firing right now as we speak. We've had a lot of storms here in the past 2 weeks. There's a lot of work that's going to be coming for all the contractors out there. And, even, SRS is going to have a lot of backlog, and we're going to have a lot of backlog, and GiddyUp is going to be there for you to be able to help build and, help you build that process. But guess what? Implementation in the middle of disaster, which is what you guys are going to be creating for yourself, is disaster. And you want disaster in your business in a roofing sales environment. You don't want mediocre. You want it to be a disaster. And by a disaster is not a disastrous scenario. You want it to be where you've got all kinds of
chaos.
Controlled chaos. You want to control that disaster. You want to make it so that you can have the processes so that you can control that. And if you don't, guess what? It becomes disastrous and chaos, and you lose a ton of money. And so follow up with Jeff, follow up with Jason, follow up with us. SRS, I know John will help you guys substantially with process. Oh, no. I know that we're all here for you, and we want you guys to succeed. And that's the whole reason we created this show is, everybody is doing shows, right? Because everybody's bored at home, or, trying to get out there. But I really think that this show can really help you guys understand beyond what the tools that you might have in your arsenal. Because just because you have, 5 bullets in your gun, maybe you need 10. And maybe we're the 9th bullet, and we want to be there for you.
And a rocket launcher.
And a rocket launcher.
Well, now it's that perfect time, right, to be working on your processes, right?
Yes.
If you're slow or you can't get out and work or things are shut down, then right now is that prime time. If right now storms are firing off, like you were saying, Nathan, we've got storms going in different locations all over, and people are they're going to start filing their claims, they're going to be building up, and they got that time that it takes for that and everything else. Working on those processes and implementing everything is important so that when you can get out there, you can get out there and hit it hard. You can make it happen right away. And that's what we're seeing. A lot of people are coming to us right now just trying to be prepared for tomorrow, and build that process and know that they have the support that they need for those jobs to get them done. Absolutely.
Hey, Rebecca, I don't want to overstep my bounds, but can I ask another question of Nathan?
No.
John's saying no.
Yeah.
I'm getting the veto. I feel the hook coming in right now.
Maybe
We'll
at
allow
the-
it to happen, but just know when it's your turn, he's coming at you too.
Oh, no. My question is, I have a lot of background in disaster recovery and business continuity.
Yes.
And your service that you're offering, is it an all or nothing, or do you see customers that go through and sign up to help get through? Maybe they're going into a new market, or maybe their production manager that they had became ill, something we're all seeing right now with the events of today. How are you guys helping customers in that regard?
For us, we're not an all or nothing. We'd love to be a support staff. If you guys get backlogged in a city, or you want to go to a new city and you don't know where the labor is, or you haven't hired a production manager and you want to go just throw up 50 jobs before you hire a production manager, or whatever the case is, we're there for you. Obviously we'd love to be your full time, but we also understand that having an in-house production manager is very important for a roofing company. And so, we'll either order the jobs for you, or we'll just supply the labor for you. 2 easy solutions. And it really doesn't matter to us if we're the secondary or the primary. We're happy to help, and we're happy to consult and, help train. We even train production managers on process and stuff. So we're happy to do all of that for you to make you be the most success that you can get.
Yeah,
Can I jump on that, Nathan?
Yeah.
I was going to say another real common piece to, like, a lot of guys enjoy using us, and I would encourage anyone watching is, when I started out selling, all I sold was shingles. All I knew was shingles. And then I was always afraid to sell anything else because, the company I was working for at the time, they've never done it. They didn't know how to do it. It makes us a great asset in the aspect that if you do want to sell a TPO roof, that, hey, even as an owner, I've never sold it, whatever, now you can venture into that and we can build it for you.
Yep.
That's exactly it. One of the things I was going to say is that, the calls that I get and that I'm dealing with on a regular basis are people who are looking at going in, either don't have crews right now in their market, right? Of course, that's the obvious one, but people who are looking to expand into new areas. In fact, this morning, my appointments this morning were all focused on people looking at moving into other states, or, and they don't know anybody. They have no crews, no ability to grow, and also moving into new types of roofs, right? So I want to start doing commercial. Perfect. Well, we can help you start doing commercial. There's no doubt about it. You can sell it, then we'll get it built. And that's the wonderful thing, is being able to help companies grow and be able to scale into new projects, new things that they want to do.
Hey, fellas, we've got about 5 more minutes here, and I wanted to again invite the viewers to send over questions. I'm monitoring, and we can throw them out there. But right now, we're going to turn it back over to Jason.
Okay. So Nathan, what tools have made it possible to make this process work as far as production and labor through outsourced solutions?
CRMs are definitely a piece. company cam, things like that, where we can see photos in real time on the project. Um, the tools of aerial measurements. When I started in the roofing industry, we were still doing everything by hand. We had to hand draw the roofs. So aerial technology, the ability to write material orders in a fast fashion, and in a consistent basis fashion. All those tools that are available to every contractor, is the reason that I started this. The piece that I built is nothing that any roofing company doesn't have access to. There's no secret sauce there. It's just I put the pieces and parts together and created something unique. And it grew a lot faster than I expected. I thought I would have 3 or 4 clients. I mean, I remember you were one of my first clients, and we had known each other. We had worked together. But I told you, I only want 3 or 4 clients, and I ended up with 10 the first week. It was like, oh, and then I had to hire people, which William came and stuff like that. So it was kind of one of those things. It took off where I didn't expect it to. I figured it would just be a couple guys like you and Andy Soa and Ron Atner from Watershed and from Advanced Roofs and things like that. I figured it would just be those guys, and it would keep me busy and give me a nice paycheck, and it didn't work that way. I ended up going crazy.
If I can piggyback on the outsourced solution thing, having worked with a lot of different solutions in the past, all of this allows all of these different things, the CRMs, the aerial imagery and measurement, the supplement companies, the companies like Company Cam and so on. I feel that all these solutions and like ourselves help smaller companies compete in the bigger arenas.
Yeah.
And they form a process, so you don't have to hire in all of these different people. Maybe you just can't grow and scale that big. All of these companies and all of these processes allow you to compete in the arena with everybody else. And I think that is crucial.
And realistically,
the key is it allows the contractor. I mean, the biggest problem that we have in our industry today outside of labor is execution. And you've got business owners that are wearing 35 different hats, and they're trying to figure out, how do I manage all these different job functions? And Jeff can agree that, items like business management software and CRMs, that can help. And then that frees up the opportunity for the business owner to say, okay, now that I'm more organized from a CRM perspective, I can then focus on one of these other challenges that I normally couldn't get to because I'm too busy managing those other functions. The cool thing about what Labor Connect is doing is you're just allowing the contractor to say, hey, look, we'll take care of that labor function. And the question that I would ask viewers to think about is if you didn't have to worry about that, if you didn't have to worry about finding new labor and vetting that labor and training that labor, how could you utilize that time beyond, the ability to scale your business? How could you utilize that time to maybe add value in other areas of your business that might be being neglected? I mean, it's a perfect solution.
Yeah, I mean,
With a unique price point.
A great price point, and the thing that I always have told, and I've said this thousands of times on different live videos, you don't need a production manager until you do $1.5 to $2 million. You really don't need that expense, because a production manager is going to cost you, a decent production manager is going to cost you $75,000 to $100,000 a year. And, you really don't need one until you get to that volume if the owner can do it himself. But the owner can't do it himself if he's wearing 35 hats, answering the phone calls, dealing with the supplements, dealing with production, finding the crews. It becomes an impossible task. And at what point do you just pay a small fee and have a team do it? And that's the piece that I think is Jeff's point of the way he does it as a partnership. That's the way we do it as a partnership. There's labor brokers out there, and there's labor connectors. Labor brokers are guys that, have a bunch of crews, and they manage the jobs and work on, different pieces and parts for you. And you pay them a small fee, or you pay them the whole thing, and then they pay their crews. That's not how we work. We're a labor connector. You still pay the crew directly. That's a big advantage to the way we do it. Because you now have an insured contractor on your repertoire. You're not doing you're not hiring a broker that lives in another state that never goes to your job site, that, you're paying him a fee to be on his insurance. You don't know that his insurance is good. The biggest thing that I see in the broker stuff is, are they covering the workers that they're putting on your roof, or is their policy only covering them? And so, those little things are huge, especially to a small business owner, because you don't want to get trapped in that scenario.
All right, guys, we're at a half an hour. Does anyone have anything else? Do we want to talk about next week? What to look for? Why to tune in?
If I could chime in one statement with the baby in the background, I apologize again. Is too with the production manager, Nathan, maybe to chime in on this, is that's not all you're getting with us.
Correct.
You not only get a production manager, but you get an account manager, a scheduling manager, and worst case scenario or best case scenario, you get Nathan Higgs himself. That's a huge thing for the same price point.
Yeah, and unfortunately with the pandemic, everybody's home, right? So William's home. He's got the baby duty. His wife is a nurse, so she can't be home. And so, unfortunately, we got the baby in the background. We are working. William's still working 10 to 15 hours a day. We're all still working. It's just we're working from home now to be safe for everybody. We apologize for that. Hopefully in a few weeks, it'll be a different scenario, and we'll all be, working from our office again, and everything will be good. But let's just keep hoping for that. I can tell you, I'm ready to go back to the office. I'm about sick and tired of sitting at home.
Would you say, John, Jeff and I are sitting in our cabins working?
Right.
If you guys are in your cabins.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So next week we're going to be highlighting GiddyUp, our other sponsor, and talking about what GiddyUp software can do. We're a huge proponent of GiddyUp. We're after seeing their program and seeing how it works, I can tell you it's an amazing tool, and I can't wait to see their stuff and showing on this show and being able to ask them some questions.
Absolutely. Very excited to dig into GiddyUp.
Yep.
One thing I would add for everybody is to go through and visit blueprintforthenewreality.com.
Yes.
There's links on this group that has all of the videos and all the past videos and ways for you to submit. So go through and check that out. And that'll help also connect to the sponsors, not just GiddyUp, but also SRS. And
I'm going to give away today our CDC collateral damage checklist. For anybody that has viewed this show, we'll give away that CDC. We'll also give away a subcontractor agreement so that everybody can see our subcontractor agreement that I used for many, many years. Adapt it, use it, adjust it, however you want. The CDC is something that I really feel will help anybody's business, large or small. It is long. It is very lengthy. You will get some pushback from your sales reps, but I promise you, if you can get them to buy in on it, your production process will be without a hitch.
John DeRosa told me that sales reps never push back on anything. So I don't know what you're talking about. So, I mean, it must be the way John trains people.
I wish I would have met John years ago. My life probably wouldn't have made me go bald.
Jeff too.
Yeah, I didn't meet John soon enough, but.
Fair enough.
Sounds wonderful, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful week, everybody.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks. Stay safe.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.